I'm sick of your tight pants and silky hair.
Oh, I'm sick of you with your boyish charm and your dimpled smile.
Their magic moment or
Hey!
Spin City, then Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? See you Tuesday on ABC.
My whole life exists in a 6x6 foot cell. My whole life, day and night, night and day, every day.
John Gotti, from the inside.
Listen to me carefully. You'll never see another guy like me if you live to be 5,000.
The Gotti Prison Tapes on Good Morning America in 2020. Wednesday, only on ABC.
Monday Night Football is online, featuring chats with Terrell Davis and interactive polls at ESPN.com. Welcome back to the Toyota Halftime Show. Once again, here's Chris Berman.
Welcome back to the Zone here in New York. Halftime, Dallas leads at 17-7 in Minnesota. In college football, a significant change in this week's BCS standings, thanks to, as we showed you, Minnesota's upstate win at Penn State. Florida State remains #1, but defending national champ Tennessee, despite losing to Florida early this season, leapfrogged all the way up to #2, passing undefeated Virginia Tech. Why? The Hokies needed a last-second field goal to beat 3-5 West Virginia. They're third, with Florida fourth, and undefeated Kansas State fifth. Top two teams will play in the Nokia Sugar Bowl January 4th for the national championship. But back to our game, we go back to Minnesota and Al. I go to something that Boomer said during the first half of the telecast. Looked like by body language, Dallas seemed more into the game than Minnesota, and they have the lead.
They certainly were. I mean, they were completely dominant, and 17-7 barely does it justice in terms of the domination of the Dallas Cowboys in the first half. It could have been a lot worse, and let's go back and take a look at some of the highlights, and there were several. Led off by the great Emmitt Smith, 63 yards on this touchdown run, his longest TD run since 1992. And then on the ensuing kickoff, David Palmer fumbled. The score was 10-0. Cowboys got it back. Smith takes it in for a touchdown, suffers a right-hand contusion. They took him in for x-rays. We're still awaiting the results. It made it 17-0. And then Stepnoski's bad snap, the Aikman fumble, the Minnesota recovery enabled the Vikings to get back into the game. They make it pay off on a third down heave from Jeff George to Randy Moss. The score is 17-7. The Cowboys dominating. Boomer, Minnesota gets the ball to start the second half. What's going on in the locker room right now?
I would think that Denny Green, Coach Fazio, and Ray Sherman are in the faces of those players. You have to tell them, look, we're on Monday Night Football. We got a national audience here, guys. This is an embarrassment. And certainly, you know, there's always a tale of two halves. They can come out, they have the explosiveness to be able to put up some big points. You know, and Jeff George has only completed 13 yards for passes.
Do you think he'll go back to Cunningham?
No, I don't think so. I think he'll stay with Jeff George, and, you know, he's got to ride it out. He's got to give him a chance. He's ignited this offense the last 2 weeks. There's no saying that he won't do it again here in the second half. Stay close, because these guys have a lot of explosive players, Al.
Big midseason game for both teams. 17-7. The Cowboys lead the Vikings. Second half coming up.
Introducing the new full-size Toyota Tundra. With the most stress-resistant frame in its class and over 2,000 pounds of available payload capacity, the Tundra is tough enough to do the work of some of the biggest trucks on Earth. And it's a lot easier to park. Introducing the new four-door Tundra. Have we gone too far, or have others not gone far enough?
The Toyota Halftime Show has been brought to you by Toyota Trucks. Unbreakable every day. We'll be back with the second half kickoff after this from our ABC station.
Tuesday, after 30 years, Dharma's parents are finally making it legal.
We're getting married!
And Dharma's planning a perfect day complete with a special wedding singer.
Kenny frickin' Logan!
Be there for the big event.
What a long, strange trip it's been.
Dharma and Greg, followed by a special Drew Carey. See you Tuesday, 9, 8 Central on ABC.
The High School Athlete of the Week, brought to you by United Dairymen of Idaho. Got milk?
Good sporting. Day tester with the Monday Night Football Halftime Report. It's postseason on the gridiron, and that means time to buckle up for the best performances of the year. How about Homedale's game with Camei on Saturday? The Trojans are in the fourth quarter trailing 26-8 when they realize it's now or never. The home team with the rally cap goes on a scoring binge to put 30 on the board en route to a 4-point victory. Homedale's quarterback Brandon Hopkins was the man, tossing the football for 229 yards, and in the fourth quarter scoring 4 touchdowns. One to forget, and yes, one to remember forever. Too close for comfort, but it's a win in Homedale's in the second round of the postseason. And you know what? Brandon Hopkins is the Channel 6 and United Dairymen of Idaho's Athlete of the Week.
The High School Athlete of the Week, brought to you by United Dairymen of Idaho. Got milk?
Whoa, what's up? Oh, that's a miss. It's lame. Sports drinks, colas, like that's working up there? But you get something good. You know why you don't have game? Because you don't got milk. That's why. Vitamin D. You want the D, you need me. Whoa, right there. Basket's that way, Chief. Yeah.
Want game? Milk has 9 essential nutrients for active bodies.
You know what? When you guys are done denying, your beverage problem, give me a call. I'll be in the fridge. Come on, Shake.
Tonight, KIVI Channel 6 News at 10. This diet doesn't just help you lose weight. What it promises can only be described as miraculous.
They say that if you follow the diet strictly for 6 months, 90% of your health problems will go away.
Tonight, KIVI Channel 6 News at 10 investigates the Hallelujah Diet.
These new diets kind of, give us a panacea.
It may be divinely inspired, but is it safe? Find out tonight on KIVI Channel 6 News at 10.
Dave Tester goes one-on-one with boxer Kenny Keene after Monday Night Football.
Minneapolis, we get ready to start the second half. Monday Night Football is being brought to you by Ford F-Series. The best-selling trucks are built for tough. Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper, this is the taste. Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl. And the Miller Lite, taste a true Pilsner. Al Michaels, Boomer Esiason, Leslie Visser.
Al, speaking of the Super Bowl, many teams or many people around the league feel like the Minnesota Vikings had what it takes to get to the Super Bowl. I mean, tonight, if you watch this team, you would wonder if this team is, even get a chance, to win its division, let alone try to get into the Super Bowl. And its division is being dominated right now by the Detroit Lions, who had a great game yesterday, a great comeback win against the St. Louis Rams. But I mean, if this team doesn't wake up sooner or later, boy, this season's going to be a long one.
Well, it's been an amazing year. If the season ended tonight, the Detroit Lions would be the #1 seed in the NFC, and St. Louis would be #2. Toby Goins kickoff to start the third quarter is fielded at the goal line by Robert Tate, and he can fly. And Tate takes it back out to the 29-yard line. That's where Minnesota sets up shop. We go to Leslie Visser. Leslie?
Denny Green is enormously disappointed in his team right now. He said we didn't tackle on defense. No back has rushed for 100 yards against the Vikings. Emmitt had 140. He said we didn't pass protect on offense. Well, as for Emmitt Smith, he has fractured his 4th metacarpal. He is, of course, out for the game. He carries the ball in his left hand, but this is his right hand, but still very serious. No determination yet when he will return.
Okay, thank you, Leslie. As the Cowboys go home and meet Green Bay on Sunday, they have 4 games in 18 days beginning today. At the 29-yard line, it is Carter making the catch, staying in bounds, and they finally get him out of bounds. They are going to mark him out at the 34-yard line. Ismail Reese bounced him out.
And it's going to take players like Cris Carter to get the Vikings back into this game. A great straight arm on the sideline to get extra yardage, to get that extra 2 or 3 yards.
By the numbers, let's take a look at Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders was in the game for a total of 28 plays, as you can see. They only threw his way twice, and they have moved him around from the 35-yard line. This is Leroy Hoard. And he takes it out to the 42-yard line, and that's a first down. And they begin the second half the way they started the first half, with a good ground game.
Now, that's just a great play by Leroy Hoard to get out of there. Alonzo Spellman and Ellis and Hennings had an opportunity to get him into the backfield, but he runs away from him. And again, if it's not for the great play, watch Spellman, number 90, come flying through. There's Hennings, number 95, in pursuit. If it's not for Hoard making that play, the offensive line, again, misses blocks at the point of attack.
First down at the 42-yard line.
You see Jeff is audibling now because he senses a blitz.
And he gets one. And he throws, and it's caught by Carter, who gets inside Smith, runs around Deion Sanders, chased down by Deion, caught by Deion, flag at the end of the play.
And you're going to have a face mask on Deion Sanders, but as I said, this team can hit you and light you up at a minute's notice, and you've got to be careful. And right there, Jeff George reading the defense, calling a blitz, and hitting Cris Carter against Deion Sanders. Now that is the type of confidence that you expect to see from the quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings. And he's throwing off his back foot. He's got the arm strength to get it there. And this is what you do if you're a receiver. You put the ball away and you run and you make extra yards. And nobody says that you have to be tackled and take it. You just give it, and that's exactly what he does right there to Deion Sanders.
39-yard pickup.
I just love the way Cris Carter plays, how he's physical, he's tough, he's aggressive. He's not taking anything from anybody on that field.
Coming off a fabulous game last week against the Broncos, 8 catches, 144 yards. First down, Minnesota at the 14-yard line. Take it to Williams. George buys time and then throws it away. Moss is double covered.
Well, he got up and he saw that the fact that Moss was double covered, and Ray Sherman and Denny Green both told us that they have never seen a receiver receive so much attention. And it's like people in the NFL are saying, look, 84 is not beating us. Randy Moss, there's no way we're going to let him beat us on deep routes, and they're going to put 2 guys on him. But Jeff has got to go to the other receiver and follow his progression.
Which he did last week. It's a case of Denver said Moss wouldn't beat us, and he did, and Carter beat him. Second down and 10 from the 14-yard line. Hoard is wholly right at the 8-yard line. It'll be third down and 4 with Moss on the bench for the moment. For Dallas, it has been a case when they have lost this year of fast starts and fizzling finishes. And they hope history does not repeat. They had the lead against Philadelphia, let the Eagles hang around. Eagles beat them. Could have beaten the Giants, let them hang around. Tiki Barber beat them. Led at Indianapolis last week. Yep, and the Giant defense.
Man.
Led at Indy last week after 3, and Peyton Manning and company beat them. Third and 4 at the 8. George stepping away. Looking, he's going to take it in himself. Can he get there? No, he slides down at the 1-yard line.
I think he's trying to get the first down. He realized it, but you know what he could have done there? He could have lowered his head. And he's telling everybody it's a first down, but if he lowers his head and gets in that end zone, you talk about inspiring your teammates a la John Elway in the Super Bowl a couple years ago.
Ismail Reese is hurt. Meanwhile, if it's Cunningham, he does his Edwin Moses routine there.
I mean, it's not an easy thing. He's got 3 Cowboys coming at him, and Ismail Reese being one of them. But you can see right here, watch Jeff. Now, he knows that he has the first down. It looks to me like he thinks he can get it and then realizes, you know what? There's no way, especially when Woodson's one of those guys. Well, that's actually Kevin Smith. Okay.
Kevin Smith, and Reese gets hurt on the play, and Reese gets the attention, and that's why there's an injury timeout.
All right, that was smart, actually.
And Reese comes in with an elbow, and Reese is the guy who pays the price. But you can just see Cunningham. We've seen Randall through the years. When he gets down in that position, it's that high hurdle.
He'll jump over people, yeah. You know, and guys know that around the league, so I would think that you would stay up. One of the reasons Jeff George has been around so long, he knows how to protect himself.
He does.
There's no question about that. But now you could just sense 17-7. It's close. The game is so far from over. Excuse me. And with the ability of the wide receivers on this football team and with this guy's arm, they are never out of a game. Never out of a game.
Not with that lineup.
No. Now, if they can get their offensive line to play a little bit better.
Well, I mean, everything's going their way right now. If they can get into the end zone at 17-14, and not only that, the Cowboys don't have Emmitt Smith, who's been a one-man show tonight. Emmitt 140 yards, but the fractured bone in the right hand, as Leslie said, he normally carries the ball in his left hand.
It'll be interesting to see how the Viking defense responds to their halftime adjustments. Coach Fangio screaming, just tackle. Just somebody tackle somebody out there.
All right, Dave Campo's defense will have to dig in. Reese comes out. Fred McCombs, the Viking owner. And Denny Green, the longest tenured coach in the NFL. Nobody's had his job longer than has Dennis Green, 8 years, which speaks to what a wacky business this is, and Jerry Jones knows all about it. First and goal from the 1. That's Randall McDaniel in the backfield as the fullback. He'll lead the way for Hoard, and Hoard takes it inside the 1 but not in. They line McDaniel up very often in the backfield. Randall McDaniel will go to the Hall of Fame someday. There's no better guard. I mean, here's a guy who just goes to the Pro Bowl every season.
Yeah, he started 10 straight Pro Bowls.
He's just done a wonderful job, and they love to line him up in the backfield and provide some leverage.
Well, there he is with his awkward stance and his unique stance, and not an easy thing. It's almost like he's a pulling guard back there, and I guess they figure that he can get low enough and can get underneath.
Same set, second and goal. Fake this time. Here comes the pressure. It is tipped, and Moss can't make the catch. Nearly picked off. Then Randy got a hand on it. The pressure was put on by the blitzing Darren Hambrick, and it's third down and goal.
Nice play by the defense of the Dallas Cowboys, not being fooled. The hard play action fake. And we talked earlier about Jeff George. He'll throw the ball into places that most quarterbacks won't even attempt because of his arm. And you could see that he has the ability to get enough on it to get it out there, but definitely dangerous.
That was Kavika Pittman, who dropped back into coverage. Meanwhile, the Vikings now have to hurry to the line, and on third and goal, a flag is thrown.
Prior to the snap, false start, 63.
Can you believe this? Can you believe also, I'm thinking about this, on second and goal, Kavika Pittman is in the back of the end zone to break up the play.
Well, just remember on this particular play, number 63 is in for McDaniel because he has to come out because he reported on the play earlier, and now he causes a penalty, which isn't probably so bad because it gives him more room in the end zone right now.
Third down and goal, the ball at the 6-yard line, trips right.
Looks like there's 100 guys in the end zone right now for the Dallas Cowboys.
In the empty backfield, they sack him. It is Greg Ellis. And so the two ends make huge plays. Pittman bats a pass in the end zone. And then here comes Ellis to sack him, and the Vikings will have to settle for a field goal attempt. And they go from inside the 1 all the way back to the 14.
Watch Ellis just swat Stussy out of the way. I don't know what is going on with Todd Stussy tonight, but he is just absolutely getting lit up now.
32-yard attempt. Mitch Berger will hold it. Gary Anderson to kick it, and the kick is good. 10:29 left in a weird one. Third quarter, 17-10 Dallas.
A pile of 100-year-old bricks might look like rubble to some. But I knew what they'd been through. Knew that you could hardly hurt them. And that bricks with a history like that was strong enough to stand again.
Ford F-Series Super Duty. Built Ford tough.
Eeny, miny, blow. This Christmas, everything, yes, everything, is getting blown up. From Trimount Studios comes the $200 million event of the year, Blow Up. Oh, my. This movie's gonna blow. A Michael Harper film, a Trimount Studios production.
It's time for E-Trade, the #1 place to invest online.
Sunday. Get ready to jam. Michael Jordan, Bugs Bunny, Space Jam. Sunday at 7, 6 Central on ABC.
Find out more about Minnesota's Randy Moss on NFL.com.
Mike Tice, the offensive line coach, and it's been a rather spirited discussion during the commercial break here.
That's Jeff Christie, number 62, the bald head. He's the center. There's Mike. You realize that Mike Tice, Al, he was the quarterback at Maryland before me, and now he's a line coach in the NFL.
That's right. Meanwhile, the kickoff is taken by Kevin Mathis 2 yards in and brought back to the 22. Tackled there by Chris Walsh, and Dallas will get the ball for the first time in the second half. 10:19 left in the third. In the Twin Cities, the Cowboys lead by 7.
There is no horseman. There never was a horseman. There never will be a horseman.
Ichabod?
You can lock the door. You can bolt the windows. But can you survive the night? From director Tim Burton, Johnny Depp, Christina Ricci, Sleepy Hollow, rated R. Friday, November 19th.
You know, Kenny and I never compare statistics.
Or Super Bowls.
That way we can drink our Miller Lights without arguing. Right, Mr. Fewer career touchdown passes than me?
Right, Mr. Never Been to the Big One.
We only talk about why Miller Lite tastes great.
It's the choice hops.
No, Snake. Miller Lite tastes great because it's smooth. But let's not fight.
Yeah, you're right. Let's be friends.
Table ready for Mr. I don't have as many passing yards as Dan Fouts?
Hey, that's you.
Miller Lite. Taste the true Pilsner.
To me, this isn't a hobby or even a sport. It's an obsession. So if I can't get out to this exact spot at this exact time of year, I may as well be bowling.
Get out there. An expedition from your Ford outfitter. Outfitting you with the most far-reaching sport utilities on Earth. Ford Outfitters. No boundaries.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Saturday on ABC, very important game as far as the Rose Bowl is concerned. Michigan against Penn State at noon Eastern time in regional action. Among the games, you'll see Wisconsin, number 9 against Iowa. Ron Dane would break Ricky Williams' all-time NCAA rushing record with 99 yards.
What a game between Wisconsin and Purdue. Drew Brees going for it with Ron Dane. That guy is a guy you don't want to miss.
Drew announced that he's going to come back for a senior
Good for him.
today.
Good for him.
From the 22-yard line, Dallas has it for the first time. Chris Warren out of the backfield, and Chris Warren will have to carry the load now with Emmitt gone for the night. Up to the 29-yard line. Gain of 7, tackled by Ed McDaniel.
There's Jeff George, and a look of exasperation. He's not having any time back there. And in that last series, that last play, a 3-man rush. And as soon as he planted his foot, he got hit. There's no excuse for that. None.
They were inside the 1. Second and goal, and wound up back at the 14. Second down and 3 here for the Cowboys from the 29-yard line. Aikman, quick toss, and then immediately Jason Tucker gets smacked by the rookie Chris Rogers. Rogers, a rookie out of Howard University. And for Troy Aikman tonight, his numbers are not that bad, but his receivers have not been helping him from time to time. Going back to the first period when he had Thomas drop that one, and then he had Rocket drop that one. LaFleur had dropped an earlier one. The errant snap by Stepnoski leading to the Minnesota touchdown. And here he gets tackled by Randall, and is lucky he was able to get up. Third down and 2, and he gets batted down here by Jerry Bull for the big sack.
You just got to keep on battling. This is what it's like playing quarterback in the NFL. Just stand in there. And really what happened there, it looked like Stepnoski and Aikman they weren't on the same page when it was coming to the snap count. And Stepnoski was brought here to solidify this offensive line. and to make sure that it protects Troy. And you can see right here, they're not real good with the snap. I can't imagine why the center would go right and allow the nose tackle to come up free. The only thing that I can think of is that he didn't get help from the guard that he was expecting.
Ball with a free shot. Now Toby Goen almost has that one blocked. They send Moss back. Here's Randy to run it back from the 26-yard line. Taken down there by Dexter Coakley. 8:24 left in the third. The Vikings have clawed their way back in it. Down by 7.
Okay, let's do it. 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4, 5 potato, 6 potato, 7 potato more.
Enter Southwest Airlines, take your team to the Super Bowl sweepstakes, and you could win a free trip to the big game for you and 10 friends.
My mother said to pick the very best one, and you are not it.
Now, how you choose them, that's up to you. For details, go online or visit any gate at Southwest Airlines, the official airline of Super Bowl 34.
Out here, the stories unfold like a map. Stories written across the sky with the tip of an eagle's wing. Stories to fill a scrapbook you'd want to page through again and again. But first, you've got to go to where the stories live. You'll need an outfitter for the journey. Ford is your outfitter. With the most far-reaching sport utilities on Earth, created to take you where the stories begin and never end. Ford Outfitters. No boundaries. Come on, go, go!
ABC Wednesday, the Drew Carey Show will be completely live, and anything can happen, like this, or this. The Drew Carey Show live. See you Wednesday, 9, 8 Central on ABC.
Log on ESPN.com, NFL.com for enhanced TV coverage of tonight's game. 8:24 remaining in the third quarter. Troy Aikman, that's the same look that he had last week when he was knocked down by Boris, and he went to the smelling salts here during commercial.
Well, when big old Jerry Ball is going to fall on you, I think you'd have a little problem getting up yourself, Al.
Absolutely.
They have Jerry Ball listed at 330 pounds. He's probably more like 340.
From the 30-yard line, that is Holden. What a catch by Carter as he got position on Sanders. A 22-yard gain. Almost looked like he caught the back of the ball.
How we showed earlier how Ernie Mills of the Cowboys allowed the defender Hitchcock to get inside of him on a post route, and right here Cris Carter doesn't allow it. And look at the hit he takes from Deion Sanders and still holds on to the football. Everybody talked about Randy Moss versus Deion Sanders. These are two all-pros going at it right now, and Cris Carter and Deion Sanders.
From the 47-yard line, Hoard bunched up, picks up 3, takes it to the 44. It'll be 2nd and 7 halfway through the third period. Again, a dominant Dallas beginning tonight. The backup quarterback is Jason Garrett as he looks on, and he and Gailey are going over the chart right now, and some pictures of the Minnesota defense, which would indicate that there's a good chance we're going to see Garrett.
He might be. He's licking his fingers. Usually when a quarterback's licking his fingers, that means he's ready to go in.
2nd down and 7. We're going to the Rosenbag from the 44-yard line.
You can see Jeff, he's a little indecisive at the line of scrimmage, trying to audible. Is he going to audible? What's going on here?
Throws on the run. Carter wide open. Took care of Kevin Smith with that in cut. Takes it to the 27 and a first down.
And he made the audible. That was the last time he audible to the same play when we saw him go against Deion Sanders. You could tell this guy knows how to ignite this franchise and these fans here, and it just turns Kevin Smith around. I mean, Cris Carter is not the fastest guy in the world now, but what he is, he's so adept at running the routes correctly and creating separation, getting away from the defensive backs.
All of a sudden, Chris has been silent through most of the first half, has 6 catches for 105 yards, 17 there, first down. Minnesota at the 27. Ford pulls his way to the 21 and a gain of 6.
Okay, I will go back to the first half when Stepnoski had the false fumble and actually the bad snap, and you could see Chris's numbers right there. And that's where the momentum started to swing a little bit, and you could just feel it building and building and building. It looks like a totally different offense out on the field right now. They're moving it. They had a little trouble the last time when they get down close, but certainly now they sense that they can, you know, they can get the game again back in their hands.
2nd down and 4. Troy with a glazed look. 30 to go. Mo Williams is the running back in this set. They give him the football, and Mo Williams makes the acquaintance of one Randall Godfrey, who was magnificent last week against the Indianapolis Colts. 4th-year middle linebacker out of Georgia. Big play.
When you're a middle linebacker and you see a hole in front of you and you know that that running back has the ball, you have to fill it. You have to fill it quickly, and you have to fill it ferociously, kind of like that. That's the way you play middle linebacker in the hole in the NFL.
3rd down and 5. They stack the receivers, all 3 of them to the left. And they don't send anybody in motion. They send them all out along the tree line, and it is incomplete. Looking for the flag, and Matthew Hatchett doesn't get it. Covered by Charlie Williams. First time they went his way tonight.
Well, you know what happened on that play, Hal? Jeff George looked to the right to go to Randy Moss, and Randy Moss had 2 guys over there, and he realized that he looked the wrong way, and he came back late. And you could see that he got a little nervous because he knew what was going on. He knew that the pass rush was getting close to him, but that was good defense.
Mitch Berger to hold. Gary Anderson, a 41-yard field goal attempt. And that's his 2nd of the game. Minnesota keeps chipping away. They trailed at one point 17-0. Will we see Gary? It's now 17-13. We will see him.
A pile of 100-year-old bricks might look like rubble to some. But I knew what they'd been through. Knew that you could hardly hurt them. And that bricks with a history like that was strong enough to stand again.
Ford F-Series Super Duty. Built Ford tough.
When I was 9 months pregnant, my husband beat me. One night, he came after me with a knife and barely missed our son. I left. My kids and I ended up at a shelter. I realized it wasn't my fault. Women are beaten every day, and if we stayed, I knew he would hurt my daughter.
All across the country, battered women and children are starting new lives, thanks in part to Philip Morris, one of the largest supporters of programs that feed, shelter, and counsel victims of domestic violence.
But what frightened me most was that if we stayed, I was putting my son at risk of becoming a batterer himself. I grew up in a very loving home. My kids deserve to grow up in one too.
Working to make a difference. The people of Philip Morris.
Tuesday, after 30 years, Dharma's parents are finally making it legal.
We're getting there.
Be there for the big event. Dharma and Greg see you Tuesday, 9, 8 Central on ABC.
Well, there is Emmitt Smith, and for years they were known as the triplets. Emmitt, Troy Aikman, and Michael Irvin. Emmitt's gone for the night. Aikman isn't going to play in this next series. There is Michael, so they've gone from 3 to 0. And with 4:40 left in the third, Garrett will come in to quarterback the team. And it's 17-13 as Anderson kicks off, or Berger kicks off for Minnesota. Got decapitated by John Henry Mills.
Now all of a sudden you can see the body language of the Minnesota Vikings. A little spunky right now. Somebody got a tongue lashing at halftime. And now all of a sudden the Cowboys find themselves without Emmitt Smith. They find themselves without Troy Aikman. And take a look at this right here. Aye.
That is a classic clothesline.
The ultimate clothesline right there. Woo, man.
First down, Dallas at the 15-yard line. Regular speed. A look at it here.
Oh.
Jason Garrett comes in to play quarterback. Garrett has a lot of experience. When Aikman broke his collarbone last year, he made 5 starts. He's made 7 lifetime starts, and he's been with the Cowboys since '92. Garrett on first down is going to go deep, and a flag is thrown because it was holding. Kenny Wright had his arms around Ernie Mills, or at least on his jersey, and there'll be interference.
A smart play by the offense of the Dallas Cowboys. Give Changeli credit, because now he knows that the Minnesota Viking defense is going to put these guys out here one-on-one because they figure that the quarterback can't get the ball to him. But you and I have both seen Jason Garrett do the job on the NFL football field. There's no question about that.
Came in and won a Monday night game last year.
Yep.
Against Washington. Garrett went to Princeton. Father is a longtime Cowboys scout. Brother was a wide receiver with the Bengals in '89. Aikman can only look on from the bench. Garrett is actually older than Troy. First and 10 from the 29.
Yeah, they had a down clock malfunction here, Al.
It's a disease you never want to have.
No.
.426 left in the third.
There's Buddy Guys. He's the quarterback coach right there. You know, interesting. You wonder what it takes to be a backup quarterback in this league. You're always in there. You don't get much opportunity to practice with the starting team. You have to be like ice. I mean, this is like being a reliever in the bottom of the ninth.
Chris Warren goes nowhere. And, of course, now they've got everything going against him. No Aikman, no Smith, no Irvin. Have watched a 17-point lead become a 4-point lead, and the crowd is going bananas. There they are. Those guys have led their team in passing, rushing, and receiving in each of the last 8 years. And no threesome has ever done it longer than that. In fact, the next longest running trio would be Kelly, Thomas, and Reed of Buffalo, 5 years. Meanwhile, Minnesota 105-2 in this quarter. Second down and 10 at the 29-yard line. Garrett going deep for the Rocket, and the Rocket gets positioned and drops the football. Rocket got inside Hitchcock. Pass a little underthrown, should have hauled it in.
That's 2 for Rocket tonight, and the pass is underthrown. It gives him a better opportunity to come back and make the catch. Hitchcock is not even aware that the ball was in the air, and this is a catch that this is another easy catch that he's got to make. See right there, you talk about it, Al. It comes down to a play here, a play there during the game, and all of a sudden your fortunes change. And tonight he's had 2 opportunities to make big plays and hasn't come through.
Dropped them both, and 4 total drops now by the Cowboys. Third down and 10 from the 29. Vikings strung out along the line, put pressure on Garrett, and the pass is high, intended for Ismail again. 4th down.
Well, this certainly wasn't a pretty pass. Not only was it high, but it was wobbling the whole way out there. Pull! Pull!
And then Rocket gets shoved to the turf by Griffith as Moss goes back to return the kick. Toby going to send it down there. Moss, until tonight, had returned 1 punt this season. Randy at the 26. To the 39-yard line goes Moss, and Troy will go back to the locker room. Michael in street clothes, Emmitt in street clothes, and the lead in a precarious position. 17-13 Dallas.
thinking about hair loss?
Would you like a two-facer? Excuse me? Would you like some pate? No, thank you.
Well, now there are effective FDA-approved treatments for men's hair loss. Millions of men have already started using them. So what are you waiting for?
Doesn't look good, does it?
Call your doctor today or call 1-800-49-MERC to find out more.
It's only halftime.
Merck, helping make hair loss history.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Our next caller is Sarah, whose boyfriend has lost interest ever since he won the new Donkey Kong 64 from Dr. Pepper.
Let's see what we're dealing with.
Donkey Kong 64 is here, and you can win it along with a Nintendo 64 game system by looking under the cap of specially marked bottles of Dr. Pepper, or enter to win other prizes.
Sarah, I have a question for you. Are you a supermodel?
No.
Then here's the deal. He's not coming back. The game is awesome. Next caller.
I think I'm in love with a monkey.
Is there an insurance company with a 146-year history of proving that your trust is not misplaced? Without question, the St. Paul.
They were the first family of music.
Bigger than the Beatles!
The Partridge Family story you never knew. Come on, get happy, Saturday 9/8 Central on ABC.
What a shot. Beautiful shot of Minneapolis downtown. Quite a sight on this sparkling evening. Temperature in the upper 70s today, and that shot provided by Southwest Airlines.
What a beautiful, I mean, it's just absolutely clean. It's beautiful. People here are nice. I kind of just fit in today, Al.
You do.
It's the land of the Vikings up here, man. There's a whole bunch of Norwegians running around, and I'm one of them.
You look like the quintessential Minnesotan.
Nobody knew who I was.
From the 39-yard line, Jeff George on first down. Throws to Moss. Makes the catch at the 42. And then getting spun down by Kevin Smith at the 45. 3:07 left in the third quarter.
You know, early on in the first half, if Jeff George would have held that ball, he would have been sacked. Now all of a sudden you see that he has extra time, and again it has to go to the emotion of where the Minnesota Vikings are now.
Red McCombs and Charlene, again, their 49th anniversary tomorrow. Red saying, let's go.
Keep going, keep going.
Keep going. Second down and 4 from the 45-yard line. Here's Hoard. And he picks up the first down. Red McCombs was telling me before the game he was trying to become an NFL owner for years. He has owned basketball teams. He owned the San Antonio Spurs for 23 years. He owned the Denver Nuggets for 4 years. He's owned minor league baseball teams. And finally, when the Tom Clancy deal went through, the author couldn't buy this team. He went home and he said to his wife, Charlene, he says, I'm buying the Minnesota Vikings. And she said, are you crazy? And he says, no, I'm 70, and I'm going to do it now.
And he got a good deal, really, considering what most teams are going for.
They split Hoard wide right, first down at the 48-yard line. It is George throwing, and it's caught by Moss, and Randy pulls it in and stays in bounds at the 28-yard line. They rode him out of bounds. Smith and Ismail Reese on the coverage.
And here's Jeff George again throwing those balls into places that most quarterbacks won't even attempt because he knows he has a cannon for an arm, and when you have a guy like Randy Moss on the sideline, you can get away with it. Look at this catch right here, Al, and you could see that there's Smith and there's Reese, and he would have come down inbounds with the football, and the officials ruled that they knocked him out of bounds or forced him out of bounds.
First down at the 27. In the meantime, Leroy Hoard is on the bench. They're working on his foot or leg. The ball at the 27-yard line. So Mo Williams is in the backfield. George off his back foot throws. It's tipped and it's incomplete. Intended for Jake Reed. That's the first time they've gone to Reed tonight. Kevin Smith covering on the play.
Now, just watching Jeff George and watching him fall backwards and throw the football 40 yards down the field, it's remarkable, and Jake Reed should have made this play. Kevin Smith never saw the ball. He actually got his left hand in there to knock it out, but you can see right there, what a nice, lucky play by Kevin Smith. Just get Get the ball out of their hands any way you can, and that's what he did.
Hoard comes back in the game. 2nd down and 10. The ball to the 27-yard line. George guns it over the middle. Picked off at the 1-yard line by George Teague. Back past the 20. Run out of bounds at the 24-yard line. Huge play. Flag. Coming in, and it was picked up, but there's an officials conference right now, and there will be a flag. Oh. And it is against the Cowboys. The flag is down at the 15-yard line. Illegal contact.
That's going to be on Deion Sanders.
Contact on the defense, number 21. 5 yards, automatic first down.
Before the interception, so he made contact downfield. Sanders picks the flag up.
You know, I know what he's arguing about. He's arguing, saying, take a look at this on the top of your screen. You could see. Watch how Randy Moss actually just kind of runs into him. Deion establishes his. That's a tough call right there. You know, you're not supposed to touch the guy past 5 yards, but certainly if your feet are planted and you establish your spot.
Like basketball.
Right.
Charging or blocking. First down at the 22-yard line. Moss. It's by Sanders. Skirts the sideline. First down. Darren Hambrick runs him out of bounds. Now they're going to say he stepped out back at the 14-yard line, and it won't be a first. Gain of 8. 2nd and 2. A minute to go in the period.
You got to love Deion, though, and you got to love the fact that the Vikings are not backing down from him. And 1 minute it's Cris Carter, and now it's Randy Moss, and this is what everybody here came to see. These two guys going at each other.
Good call. He was on the line. 2nd down, 2 ball at the 14-yard line. Carter, the only guy split in this set, wide right. On the ground, Leroy Hoard cuts it back inside the 10. First and goal for the Vikings coming up. The camera's shooting him from the reverse angle. He's pointing in the right direction.
Yeah, all right.
Red may be 70 or 72.
He's having some fun, though, man.
He feels like he's 20. Into the period. Crowd going wild. Vikes back in it, threatening to take the lead. 17-13 Dallas into 3. Monday Night Football returns from Minneapolis after this from our ABC station.
Jets, Patriots, next Monday night at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific.
Mr. Box, hang on to your hat, because sales of Jack Spicy Chicken are about to take off. Imagine, every sandwich comes with Chicken Jack. Cock-a-doodle profit. Spicy Jack flamenco dancer. Spicy Jack the pirate.
Look, people buy Jack Spicy Chicken because it's a real chicken breast filet that has just the right amount of spice, and it's topped with fresh lettuce and tomato.
You're gonna love Flaming Jack.
Security.
I like to sit in traffic. I always look at it as an opportunity to talk to the person next to you. But other people don't see it that way. Lighten up. Just lighten up. You know, we're all stuck in this world together. Make it happy, you know? I don't mind sitting in traffic as long as I get Chevron with Techron. I feel great no matter where I am.
Make your car feel great. Use Chevron with Techron.
It's a party. It's like a tailgate party.
It's been said, when on an expedition, you can only push the boundaries as far as your gear will allow. It's time for some better gear. Ford Expedition has seating for 9 and power to take them anywhere. And with the most towing capacity in its class, you can be sure that your Expedition and all your gear gets to where you want to go. We found a way to erase the boundaries. Get the right gear at your Heart of the West Ford Outfitters, where there are no boundaries.
Boomer, where was Mary Tyler Moore's apartment?
I think right here.
You think so? I'm going to call Grant Tinker because he'd remember. As you look at downtown Minneapolis. We start the fourth quarter. Dallas leading Minnesota 17-13. First and goal for the Vikings from the 9-yard line. Hoard to the 4-yard line, so he gets halfway home.
Now remember, the last time that the Vikings were down here in the first half when they scored a touchdown, they like to throw the ball high towards the back of the end zone to get it over the shorter defensive backs and allow their big wide receivers to go up and make a play on it. And you could see that the Cowboys are definitely concerned about that with the amount of people that they have in the secondary. It looks like 100 guys in the end zone right now.
The way they're strung out, second down and goal, so to speak. Second and goal at the 4. This is Hoard. And he gets hoarded at the 4-yard line.
So what do the Vikings do? They sense that also, so they think that they can run because there aren't that many guys in that run area, that defensive run area. And there is Emmitt Smith with the broken right hand. And maybe I jinxed him at the beginning of the game.
Well, of all things, to have it happen on a touchdown run in such a freak way, a guy who had 140 yards on 13 carries tonight.
One of the big problems that the Vikings have, Al, is that they can't get the plays in. For some reason, they're having a hard time communicating and they have to waste timeouts the second time tonight.
Yep, to the consternation of one Dennis Green. Timeout, Vikings, as they try to move into the lead.
In recent government crash tests, no other SUV outperformed the Nissan Pathfinder in driver front impact collisions, passenger front impact collisions, driver side or passenger side impact collisions. You might say it's like being taken off the endangered species list. Until now, there has been a wall between you and the tools of serious trading. That wall is coming down. The information and technology professionals use to trade is now available to everyone. Daytech Online. The rules are changing.
Patriots next Monday night at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific.
Humphrey Metrodome in Minneapolis. Reminder this week, all week long, as usual, Bill Maher. Celebrities, healthy dose of irreverence, politically incorrect, ABC late night.
Now, what's amazing to me about the Minnesota Viking offense, and this has kind of been characteristic all year long, when you're down here and you know what down situation you're in, you usually have a play that you can go to right away, and there should be no confusion.
They had a waste of timeout. Now we'll see if they can get it in. Third down and goal from the 4. George, whoa, there's fireworks go off. It's caught by Carter. Unbelievable. Scare the hell out of everybody in the building. The fireworks go off before Carter makes the catch. That may be the most amazing touchdown catch in history.
Al, you jumped up about 5 minutes.
The whole building did.
That was unbelievable.
The guy who ignites the display, the fireworks display, shot him off right about here. And the point after is good. Unreal. 13:38.
Are you all right?
Are
you
sure.
okay?
That is the ultimate premature celebration, but they have the lead.
By land, by sea, by air, he's always in his element.
Tell him James Bond is here.
The world is not enough. Rated PG-13. Starts November 19th.
I hate to be a worry, Ward, but the experts are split on the effects it could have. So we're stocking up. And when the millennium hits, we'll be ready.
Did somebody say McDonald's? Most popular toy for toddlers, $26 online. Most popular stuffed animal for toddlers, $35 online. Most popular picture book for toddlers, $12 online. Watching her play with the cardboard box instead, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Go to holiday99.com for MasterCard discounts at barnesandnoble.com and more.
Nissan is the company who introduced the light truck to America in the first place. We're also the company who brought you the first King Cab. So who else would have introduced the first compact pickup with 4 real doors? What's that? The best ideas are sometimes the most obvious.
Tonight on Nightline, the president does a video chat on the web, and you may soon be able to vote online. How the internet is changing the face of politics. Tonight on Nightline.
We're going to play this in real speed right now and listen for the fireworks, the cannon shots. Here it is.
That pass was too short to be a bomb.
Unbelievable. How Carter maintained the concentration. I mean, everybody in the building jumped.
Including yourself.
You betcha. 20-17 is the score. Mathis now runs it back for Dallas. And it's taken down to the 23-yard line by Chris Rogers. So a 17-0 Dallas lead is now a 20-17 deficit. Take a look at this reaction.
By Cris Carter, who really, when you get down into that part of the field, defenses are going to create a picket fence. He gets behind that picket fence, but watch right here. Look at this guy right here. Look, what is that?
Yeah.
What is going on?
Carter's 107th career touchdown catch. Decibel level up in 3 figures. First down from the 23. Warren tackled behind the line of scrimmage by Kylie Wong.
Well, whoever gave the Newt Rockne speech at halftime for the Minnesota Vikings certainly deserves a lot of credit, because this is obviously a different football team, Al. And you could see now that the tackles are being made behind the line of scrimmage, and they just look different. They look more excited. They look like they're angry, that they want it. They sense now that the game is theirs.
An embarrassment for most of the first half. Injury timeout. That's Jimmy Hitchcock on the AstroTurf.
Here come on flat top, he come grooving up slowly. He got choo-choo eyeball, he want holy roller. He got hair down to his knees. Got to be a joker, he just do what it please. Yes.
More reliable, higher quality, faster, more profitable. Nortel Networks is building the new high-performance internet, and it can be whatever you want it to be. So tell us, what do you want the internet to be?
Come together right now over me.
Tuesday, a single dad who wants to have it all could end up losing it all.
These are your children.
I don't want to push you away from me. ABC's Once and Again, Tuesday, 10/9 Central.
Hitchcock okay, comes off under his own power. After the game, a reminder, tune into ESPN's Sports Center Monday Night Football postgame show with live reports and analysis. Now you've got Chris Rogers in the game and Kenny Wright in the game. So you have 2 rookie corners in the game. It is 2nd down and 12 from the 21-yard line. A tale of 2 halves. Garrett's going to take off, and the Princetonian takes it up to the 30-yard line.
And
it'll be 3rd down and 3. Let's go to Leslie Visser. Les?
Al, just for an update on Troy Aikman, he is in the locker undergoing observation. This is his 6th concussion as a Cowboy. This one is mild, which according to a new grading system is confusion, inability to focus. Well, unlike Deion Sanders a couple of weeks who put himself back in the game after suffering a concussion, that will not happen with Troy. Dr. Robert Vandermeer, the Cowboy doctor, told me we won't even give Troy access to his helmet. Al?
Okay, thank you, Leslie. And Deion Sanders with that hamstring and the after effects of the toe. The triplets are all gone tonight. The lead is gone. It's 3rd down and 3 as Garrett throws and it's tipped, and Hitchcock picks it off at the 37-yard line, and Garrett watches that one get intercepted, and Flozell Adams is in agony, the left tackle.
Interesting, Al. I didn't see where Adams took the shot. It looks like it's right around the waistline, and it came after the play, it looked like.
Irvin coming part of the way out onto the field to try to get a closer look, and they wave him away as the medical staff works on Adams. John Randall was locked up with him. And let's see what happens at the end of the play here. It might have been Dwayne Clemens, number 92, who comes in. He's on the ground.
He's
92.
right here. Let's take a look at this and see what happens. Oh, I mean, what is that?
Well, we know what that is.
Well, I mean, but we both know what it is, but totally inexcusable.
And he got away with it, too.
He sure did get away with it. Well, the game's rough enough as it is, and certainly those guys battle probably harder than anybody on the field, linemen and defensive linemen, offensive linemen and defensive linemen, and to do something like that and to walk off the field and feel obviously good about it, I can't imagine that Dwayne Clemens does. And take a look at the play clock here. You have to wonder if this play actually got off in time, and certainly it didn't, according to our replay there. Be interesting. Could Dallas challenge on that, Al?
They can with the play clock.
That'd be an interesting thing right now. Why would
Jerry Jones with a somewhat forlorn look. Adams goes out.
Well, they're not going to challenge.
They're not going to do it. Minnesota's going to take over the 37 after the Hitchcock interception. So Clemens got away with it, at least until Gene Washington gets into his pocket in charge of the fines. And this is Leroy Hoard to the 35-yard line.
And the one thing I will tell you is that Gene Washington and the league won't stand for stuff like that. It's bad enough if you lead with your helmet and there's no attempt to injure if you're actually trying to tackle with your helmet. But certainly in that instance, what Clemens did there will be a significant fine, I guarantee you.
Absolutely.
You don't know what precipitated it. You don't know why he reacted that way, certainly. But all we saw was what he did.
2nd down and 7 for the Minnesota Vikings at the 34. By the way, that is not challengeable with the play clock. 2nd down and 7 at the 34-yard line.
No.
jailbreak blitz, and it's caught by Andrew Glover, and he's out of bounds at the 33-yard line. Run out by Dexter Coakley. It'll be 3rd down and about 6.
A nice play by Jeff George that time. Doesn't seem like much because he didn't get much on the completion, but certainly he read the blitz. He saw it coming, and he went right to his hot receiver, delivered the ball accurately, and he took a wicked shot after he had gotten rid of the football. So obviously Jeff George has settled in nicely in the second half, and he looks like a different player, probably because the guys in front of him are playing a little bit better.
3rd and 5 now, under 11 minutes to go. Minnesota up by 3, having erased a 17-point deficit. And another timeout. That's 2.
Well, this is what happens when the plays take a while to get in. He wants to audible at the line of scrimmage. He walks up there kind of slowly, and you got to dump a timeout.
And they're down to just 1.
There's nothing better than being named Motor Trend Sport Utility of the Year. Well, except for surfing a 20-foot face at Mavericks, or snowboarding in Telluride. And you can't forget riding in Moab, or kayaking the Snake River. Okay, there may be a few things better than winning Motor Trend Sport Utility of the Year. Ah, but what the heck, we'll take it. Motor Trend Sport Utility of the Year. The new Nissan Xterra.
You know Elizabeth Jarman?
Can't say I did.
No.
Oh, yes, I did. A bit of a bowler, Elizabeth was, back in the old days.
Excuse me, did you know Elizabeth Jarman? She was ladies' captain in 32. I have a photograph. Oh, I have mail.
At Sprint, we know it's not just about linking millions of people on the internet. It's about looking into someone's eyes and seeing who you are. Isn't that the point of contact?
How dare you, sir? The impudence.
I have known diet drinks, and you, sir, are no diet.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I think we can...
Diet Dr. Pepper tastes more like regular. That's our story, and we're sticking to it.
Michelin would like to remind you, there's only one safety feature on the road that actually touches the road. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
They were the first family of music.
Bigger than the Beatles.
The Partridge Family story you never knew. Come on, get happy Saturday 9/8 Central on ABC.
Coming up this weekend, ESPN Sunday Night Football from Seattle, the Kingdome. Denver against the Seattle Seahawks. And then on Monday night, we go to Foxborough, where the Patriots make their only Monday Night Football appearance of the season, hosting the New York Jets, coming off their win against Arizona yesterday. Keyshawn Johnson and company next Monday night. After the timeout, 3rd down and 5 for the Minnesota Vikings at the 32-yard line. And Jeff George throws, and it's juggled and not caught. Incomplete. 4th down. Jake Reed can't hold it.
Threw it a little bit too far outside, and the reason he did is because number 52, Dexter Coakley, ran out underneath Jake Reed, and it just shows you how fast the linebackers are. You can see Jake Reed looks open from this shot, but there comes Coakley into the shot, and it forces Jeff George to throw the ball outside.
And now the Vikings will eschew the opportunity to kick a 50-yard field goal, and instead Berger comes in to punt. And the play clock's all the way down to 1. But that barely matters here, because if they're going to punt, it doesn't matter if they're kicking from the 32 or the 37, really. In fact, Dallas may decline it, which they do.
I think what they're trying to force Berger to do here now is line drive one, and if they can get one where he kind of shanks it a little bit, maybe Deion Sanders has a chance. The likelihood of Deion returning this punt remote, just because of the distance between him and the guys that are running down the field right now.
Berger will accept the snap at the 47-yard line.
No chance.
Floater. It goes into the end zone. That's a little harsh. Booing like, I mean, you know, enough already. Your team has come from 17 down. Give him a break.
High expectations here, Alan, Minnesota.
Yes, everywhere. What else is new?
I'm John Randall of the Minnesota Vikings. Here, young people are learning to climb, not just physically, but academically, through this unique United Way supported program. Working together, we're solving today's problems through the United Way. The NFL, the United Way, and you, the power of teamwork.
These days you hear a lot about e-commerce, and usually it's about companies with names that end in .com. Actually, e-commerce is for any company that wants a better way to do business, like respond faster to the market, or work better with partners and customers. At Microsoft, we've helped thousands of companies build on their existing systems to create the kinds of e-commerce solutions that can make any business run smarter.
What's this?
Dear Mr. Claus, I've been very good this year, as you can tell by the enclosed calendar. In fact, my episodes of Kind Acts have risen 68%. With that, please find the enclosed gift guide, as well as blueprints of a roof and chimney. Thank you, your advance, Scott.
I think we got a keeper here.
Sometimes it's not just what you say, but how you say it. Kinko's, express yourself.
This is what we're reduced to. We can't afford CDs anymore. We're just taking up the PA. 10:28 remaining in the fourth. The Dallas Cowboys have it at their own 20-yard line. Never know when there's some ambient noise in the Metrodome.
I didn't know you like CDs, Al.
Yes, I do.
Well, now I know what to get you for Christmas.
Absolutely. Thank you. It's coming up.
Do you have a particular favorite?
Oh, I've got a few.
Okay.
OMC's pretty good.
OMC.
Kind of a metaphor for our lives. How bizarre.
It kind of, yeah.
Yes. Cowboys at their own 20, 1st and 10, 10:28 left in regulation. Minnesota having erased a 17-0 deficit. And now Jason Garrett with a toss back to Chris Warren. And Warren with a first upfield. And Warren breaking tackles. A 24-yard gain to the 44. Ran out of the grasp of Robert Griffith.
I was just going to say, what a great series by the Dallas defense. Minnesota on the other side of the 50, getting close to the red zone against the Dallas defense. They hold them, they stop them, they force them to punt. And here we go again. Where's the tackling for the defense of the Minnesota Vikings? You can see everybody just kind of overruns the play, and a good running back has good vision. He can see, he can make the cutbacks, and certainly Chris Warren is able to do that.
Flozell Adams is in the game at left tackle. After needing the attention after the punch by Clemens on the last series. First down at the 44-yard line. Garrett pressured, sacked. Tony Williams.
And Tony Williams does it to Larry Allen. He actually runs right inside and beats him inside. And
flag down. It would have been, or might be, we'll see depending on the call here, the 5th sack of the season. We have a personal foul against Dallas this time.
you got to wonder what this is all about. If it's Flozell Adams or somebody responding to the last time they were on the field. And
penalty's going to be against Eric Williams.
Personal foul on the offense. Number 79 blown to the head, 15 yards, and repeat first down.
Take a look at the left side of your screen right here, number 79. Here he is, right here. Let's take a look here. Well, you know what this is? This is basically retaliation. We don't really know what's been going on down on the field, but the one thing that I can tell you, this guy right here, John Randall, Clemens, Williams, also Chris Dolman. I mean, this is a nasty group of players, and they've been getting at it and getting after it. And I'm sure that it has something to do with the halftime talk that Foge Fazio gave this defensive line to pick up their intensity. Didn't mean to throw punches and stuff like that, but certainly they have lifted their aggressive level of play.
And he gets caught, and it's a big penalty. It's a 15-yarder, one of the few 15-yarders remaining in the rule book. And this is Rocket on an end around, and Rocket gets spilled at the 30-yard line after a minimal pickup. It'll be second down and 24. Reminder, ESPN.com, NFL.com. That's the spot to be on your computer for enhanced TV coverage of tonight's game. Carter and Moss. And Reed.
Not a bad trio right there, Al. Jeff George made the right decision coming here to play with those three.
Second down and 23. Up at the 31-yard line. Garrett out of the shotgun.
Nope.
That's incomplete. Intended for Jeff Ogden. He's covered by Jimmy Hitchcock.
All of a sudden, the field now has shrunk on the Dallas Cowboys offense. They're trying to work things within that 5 to 10-yard range. The Minnesota Vikings defenders are just sitting on the ball right now. Sooner or later, you're going to have to try to get one up top, over top of these guys. They're actually covering for Rodgers, the rookie down here at the bottom, by putting a safety over top of him. So anytime Rocket comes down here one-on-one, you would try to get that matchup. You're not getting it because of the way that they are defending him.
Garrett trying to turn those baby blues into steely blues here. He's 0 for 4 with a pick. Third down and 23. Going deep, almost picked off at midfield. Jimmy Hitchcock had it and dropped it. Fourth down. Well, the personal foul put him in a hole. And they're forced to punt with 8:21 remaining in regulation.
I can imagine what both sides are saying on the sidelines to their defensive and offensive lines, and Hitchcock should have had that. That was a gimme. But it's getting nasty, and certainly when you start seeing guys reacting by throwing punches and fists, you can just imagine what's being said down there. And certainly they're in each other's face, and it's creating some tense moments on the field.
Toby Goins' kick. Randy Moss back to get it at the 21-yard line. And Randy with a short shot of the field and trips and falls. Otherwise, he might have broken it.
You know, but plays like that are what keep the game close.
They do.
You know, and it's just, he had an opportunity to take a full length. He falls down. Now all of a sudden, the Dallas defense has an opportunity to keep the game close. Some athletes have that special ability, Al, and certainly this guy is one of them. Not very many players in the league that have the ability of a Randy Moss, a Deion Sanders, and probably the greatest athlete of all, a Michael Jordan, to be able to combine the great athleticism with the want-to and the heart and the passion.
48-yard kick and a 25-yard run back, and now Minnesota at the 46-yard line. And George throws to Moss. And he's out of bounds in Dallas territory at the 49-yard line. Charlie Williams with the coverage. If the Vikings hold on and win the game, they go to 5-4. Detroit leads the division at 6-2. The Vikings would be in second place. Green Bay is 4-4. Meanwhile, a Dallas loss, and they are a game back of the Giants and a game back of Washington.
Another storm to be weathered by Chan Gailey right now, losing his big three. And he told us last night he's just got to keep the guys together and realize that coaching the Dallas Cowboys is just a huge task to keep these guys from reading all the negative stuff that they've read the last few weeks.
2nd and 5, and it's Cris Carter making the catch. Picks up a couple. It'll be 3rd down and 3 at the 47.
But you look at the Dallas Cowboys schedule, the last 5, or actually 4 games, Philadelphia, the New York Jets, and New Orleans, and then at home against the Giants. All 4 winnable games for the Dallas Cowboys. So they just have to keep their spirits up, and it's up to him, Chan Gailey, to be able to do that. And continue to make these guys believe that they still have a shot at this.
Well, you know, we'll get Emmitt back. Irvin's another story. Michael will probably make a decision in 3 or 4 weeks. 3rd down and 4 from the 48. Dallas sends everybody, and the catch is made, and it's a first down. Carter, knowing exactly where he was, exactly how far he had to go for the first down, and salutes himself with a red cashing move. Charlie Williams with the coverage.
Good play call that time by Ray Sherman, moving his quarterback out of the pocket, getting away from the blitz. And Charlie Williams just playing too far off of Cris Carter, knowing that if you're blitzing and you're a defensive back, don't give that much room, because the quarterback's going to have to make a quick decision. He's going to have to get rid of it, because he too knows that the blitz is coming as well.
6:10 to go, first down at the 42-yard line. George and the Vikings can begin to work the clock now as Leroy Hoard takes the ball inside the 40-yard line. Jeff George in the first half. You could have benched a guy with a half like that. 37.3 rating, but in the second half, a whole other story. There it is in another form.
The second half has been filled with good, solid plays too. Reading blitzes. There's Randall Cunningham on the sideline, reading blitzes, getting rid of the football. Standing next to number 12, Dante Culpepper. He was their first-round draft choice, one of the heralded quarterbacks that came out in this rookie class this year.
Dante with his helmet on, looking for action. 2nd down and 6. George under pressure, throws, and it is incomplete, and the Cowboys are going to contend. He was between the tight ends, and there's nobody there, and some of the Cowboy defenders, as George comes up limping, are going to contend that it was grounding. In fact, Hambrick is saying, who was the receiver?
Well, Jim Kleinsasser, their rookie.
Now they throw the flag, and they're right, because he wasn't outside what's referred to as the tackle box or tight end box.
But you know, I don't know, Al. The rookie tight end, Jim Kleinsasser, was actually on the sideline over there. Jeff just didn't have enough time or enough strength to get it to him, but he was throwing it into his direction, and there he is. You could see that that's Kleinsasser right there behind his coach, and he's telling, hey, like, I was there. Take a look at this right here. Watch Jeff roll a little bit to his left. Then he comes back to his right. Now he throws it, and there's Kleinsasser right there at the top of the screen. It's a tough call right there. That's lobbying. That's intense lobbying. Now that goes on in Washington, doesn't it?
I thought Kleinsasser was in Eden Prairie, frankly. I think they made the right call. They got together and talked to each other, did the officials, 3 of them anyway.
That was some heavy-duty lobbying. That's all I can tell you.
So the penalty moves the ball back to the 47. It is 3rd down and 15. George hobbling out of the shotgun. Going deep, going for Moss sooner or later. Touchdown.
Many quarterbacks can roll to their left and throw back to the right. It's a design play because of the arm strength of Jeff George. Charlie Williams outmatched by Randy Moss. Remember, Kevin Smith is on the sideline with a bruised knee. And you saw in that series that they continue to throw to the right side to work against Charlie Williams. And when you get that matchup right there and you have the explosiveness of a Jeff George arm, you take advantage of it, and that's exactly what they did.
Anderson tacks on Minnesota's 27th consecutive point.
You could see Jeff George, where was this emotion in the first half? If this team could ever put it together.
If you watched the first part of the game and it was 17-0 and went to dinner and just got back, have we got a story for you?
Absolutely. Here's Red McCombs. (27-17) Minnesota. I can't even begin to tell you how difficult a throw that is. To be able to reset yourself knowing that that's where you're going. Most times quarterbacks will drop back in the pocket straight and will throw the ball down the sideline figuring that's the matchup you want. But when you move to your left, you'll move the safety with you, and it creates an enormous advantage for that wide receiver that he doesn't have to worry about anybody coming over to make a play other than that defensive back that he had just beaten.
Mitch Berger to kick off, 27-17. And this is Kevin Mathis bringing it back from the 3-yard line. Back out to the 30-yard line. With 5:01 remaining. Monday Night Football is being brought to you by the people inspired to build vehicles for your mind and heart. Nissan driven. Nortel Networks. We're building the new high-performance internet. MGM Pictures. Bond is back. The world is not enough. And Daytech Online. The rules of online trading are changing. When it comes to change, rarely have you seen a game like this, where Dallas was so unbelievably dominant through the first 23 or 24 minutes. A key turnover. Vikings were able to cut it to a 10-point deficit at the half, and the second half is all Minnesota, and that's almost picked off, and then caught. It's caught by Ogden after Kenny Wright thought he had the interception.
And the official rules that Ogden, I think his butt was on the out-of-bounds stripe.
It was. Posterior. Derriere.
But the thing about it is, Al, this is reminiscent of last week's game against the Indianapolis Colts for the Dallas Cowboys. Troy Aikman gets banged out. He gets taken out of the game. Jason Garrett has to come in and play. The momentum shift has been just monumental here, and it's something that Chan Gailey is going to have to work on. He's going to have to figure out a way, even with injuries in mind, to keep this team focused for the second half.
2nd and 10. Garrett is 0 for 6 with 1 interception. And that's incomplete. 0 for 7 intended that time for Jeff Ogden. Well, for the triplets, at this particular point in time, you go back to Michael Irvin and the very scary scene in Philadelphia. You lay a nerd on the Veterans Stadium AstroTurf. Hasn't played since. Emmitt Smith tonight, a spectacular night, and a fractured hand. And then Troy Aikman goes down in the grasp of Jerry Ball, and he suffers what is described as a mild concussion. 3rd down and 10. Garrett seeking refuge and finally finds it well shy of the first down.
Al, Troy Aikman took a shot to the head last week from Burris, the defensive back of the Indianapolis Colts. It was against a blitz. He didn't see it, and he basically paid the price for it. Now, tonight he took a shot from Jerry Ball, who came right up the middle. You know, and that's, again, it's an inexcusable mistake on the behalf of the offensive line, either between Stepnoski, Larry Allen, and Everett McIver. Those three guys inside have to protect those gaps, and there's no reason why a nose tackle should be able to get back in the backfield, especially the size of Jerry Ball, that quickly.
Free shot, knocked them out of the game. Toby going to punt. Randy Moss from the 16-yard line. And he brings it back out to the 33-yard line with 4.5 minutes to go. You know, all those people who were lined up to call talk radio tomorrow morning, they hung up.
Well, I think it all goes back to the bad snap at the end of the first half. They gave the Vikings life. They gave them a chance to get a touchdown on the board, make them go into the locker room saying, hey, you know, we played our worst half of football probably in the the last 2 to 3 years, maybe.
Right. Can't play a worse half.
And then all of a sudden, 27 unanswered points by the Minnesota Vikings. And I mean, in a spectacular fashion, too, when you think about it. Long bombs, receivers getting involved. Cris Carter igniting, trying at the end of the first half to get his team inspired, and certainly I think they've responded.
Now the Vikings can play clock ball from the 33-yard line, and they give it to Leroy Hoard. And he's up to the 40-yard line. And to think about the Vikings tonight, how horrible they look. And Robert Smith is out, and the crowd booing like crazy, and Dallas looking like they'll rout the Vikings. Now all of a sudden you're back. You're up 27-17. You look like you're going to win the game. Dallas takes a timeout. You look like you're going to go 5-4 with a 3-game winning streak, and you might get that guy back next week. Robert Smith talking to me before the game. I said, when are you ready? He said, I'll play next week if they'll let me. He said, I feel good.
And Denny Green said this guy is the catalyst of the offense. Certainly Jeff George deserves a lot of credit for getting this team back on the winning track. But if they can get a healthy Robert Smith, not that Leroy Hoard has done anything bad. It's just that there are certain backs in this league that are younger, that are a little bit more fast, and certainly are special. And that's what Robert Smith is.
Cris Carter during this timeout. Here's Chris on Randy Moss.
He's doing well. I think the learning curve is a little smaller this year. He knows far more than he knew last year. Now, the thing is, if he can remain patient, that's what you have to do week in and week out, and realize that no one's going to give you anything.
He's right. He's absolutely right, and that's why Denny Green likes the veterans.
Chris here to help grow Moss. This is Williams taking it up to the 42-yard line.
And now you look at the Minnesota Vikings schedule from here. They go to Chicago next week, who had a big win yesterday in Green Bay. And a lot of credit goes to Brian Robinson, who blocked Ryan Longwell's potential game-winning field goal. And at the end of the game, he said, look, I can't jump. So Walter Payton must have been there to help me jump to block that field goal.
Amazing. Timeout again called by Dallas. Randy Moss, as you can see, the only guy in the history of the league to reach those levels across the board in his rookie season. You recall the story, and it's a funny thing too, because had the Cowboys not taken so many hits to their image when it came time for them to pick last year, I mean, we all knew about Randy Moss and what a big question mark he was because of his off the field travails, and team after team, including the Cowboys, just had to pass on him. And then Minnesota said, we'll take a chance. And so far, so good.
And just remember that Dallas passed on him, but they took Greg Ellis, the defensive end from North Carolina, who they are really happy with.
And on 3rd and 1, they're able to stop. And there is Greg Ellis.
He is right there.
Stopping Hoard and keeping Dallas in the game. Timeout Dallas. So they've had to use all of their timeouts here with 4:04 to go. But it's the only way they can stay in the game. Force a punt. And then, of course, try an onside kick, and they can stop the clock one more time at the 2-minute warning.
Now, we were talking yesterday how teams kind of draft the same way every year. The Green Bay Packers, for instance, drafting defensive backs, trying to get their backfield better. The Dallas Cowboys have been drafting defensive linemen in the first round for as long as I can remember. And really, they are so happy with Ellis. He's already had 2 sacks against Washington. He's had an 87-yard interception return against Atlanta in a Monday night game. He had a 98-yard fumble return versus Arizona. They also took Ebenezer Ekubon this year, another defensive lineman out of North Carolina with their first pick. So, hey, this guy has done nothing. Greg Ellis has done nothing but support the fact that they took him number 1.
So Ellis makes the last play. Berger to punt. Jeff Ogden back to receive for the Cowboys. Ogden from the 19-yard line back to the 25-yard line. Dallas down by 10, has to go 75 yards and then get a field goal or do it in reverse without a timeout. Tomorrow, after 30 years, Dharma's parents are finally making it legal. Be there as they tie the knot. An all-new Dharma and Greg, Tuesday, 9 Eastern, 8 Central on ABC.
Here's Jerry Jones. And Al, as I was talking about the Minnesota Vikings remaining schedule, they go to Chicago, come home to play the San Diego Chargers, then at Tampa, at Kansas City, Green Bay at home, at the Giants, and then the Lions at home. They have a tough road ahead.
We'll see him twice more on Monday night at Tampa and then the Green Bay game here in December. 1st and 10. Garrett seeking his first completion. He's 0 for 7. A little dump off, so he gets the completion, but not for much, as Chris Warren is taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Jimmy Hitchcock with the coverage. So the Cowboys, after that loss of 1, in danger right now of dropping their 4th game of the season. All of them will have come on the road. All of them will have come in games in which they had the lead.
And the last 2 in which they really had control of the game.
Meanwhile, Emmitt Smith tonight putting his name in the record book. Fastest 2 touchdowns by any NFL player since 1970, and maybe before, as a little shovel to Ismail, and that's next to nothing. The scoreboard clock actually became official in the NFL in 1970, so that's why we can only say since 1970 it's the fastest 2 touchdowns. I mean, conceivably it went on well before then, but we don't have the records to verify it. Here they were, Emmitt with a 63-yard scamper, fending off the rookie right at the end, and then on this play where he winds up fracturing his hand, small bone in his hand, on that touchdown, a 24-yard run on back-to-back runs, but that ended his night. Now Garrett almost had the ball knocked out of his hand. Hits Warren, and Warren is bumped out of bounds, but short of the first down with 3:03 to play.
Defensive linemen like Chris Coleman love this type of situation. And he's a smart player. Look, he's going to knock the ball out. Garrett does really a pretty good job of just holding on to the football.
4th down, they have to go for it with no timeouts. 4th and 6, the ball at the 29-yard line. Dallas's last chance to stay in the game right here. And they don't. A happy 49th anniversary to the McCombs.
Yeah, it is, and Jason Garrett hasn't really even looked downfield, maybe but once or twice. And you know, again, I go back to the end of that first half, Al, and the bad snap by Stepnoski. It gave the Vikings a chance to get back in the football game. And we talked at halftime about, you know, would he bench Jeff George? Wouldn't he bench? You know, this team is just too loaded to hold down for too long. And the Cowboys gave a valiant effort, especially after losing Troy and Emmitt. And their defense held up as best, I think, as they could. If they would have had any help from the offense in the second half, this could have been a much tighter game than it's turned out to be.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line. Hoard. And he has the presence of mind to not run out of bounds and keep that clock going. Tackled by Aikman. Meanwhile, for Dennis Green, I mean, just think about it for a second. 1992, he gets the job. He's in his 8th season. No coach. None of the 31 has had his job in the NFL longer than Dennis Green. Bill Cowher was hired by Pittsburgh 11 days later. Boomer, do you know who number 3 is? I mean, think about this for a second.
All right, I'll think about it.
Green is 1st in tenure. Cowher is 2nd.
Now with the same team.
Yeah, with the same team.
With the same team. So that would take Holmgren out, right?
Right. Exactly.
Okay, so with the same team.
Same team. Parcells is out. I mean, guys have coached longer with different teams. 2nd down and 4. This is Mo Williams. And he picks up a first down, and that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. So you want to be a millionaire?
No, hang on. You know, can I call home? And
no,
get
you
some
can't.
Help?
And you better do it before the commercial.
How about one of these fans out here? Can I ask one of them?
No can do. You can't be a millionaire.
Come on, I could do it.
Norv Turner.
Yes, okay.
Ah, they would have taken 39.6% anyway. Who cares? 2-minute warning.
We know advanced advanced technology doesn't have to be complicated. That every product must be meaningful. And the end result will make you smile. Open up to Samsung Digital and keep in touch. Samsung Digital. Everyone's invited.
Hi, I'm Troy Aikman of the Dallas Cowboys. Please join me in supporting the United Way. The NFL, the United Way in you, the power of teamwork.
Two minutes to go. A crowd that spent most of the first half booing.
And they end up, they end up going home happy.
Booing and angry and what a wonderful world.
Well, that's the thing about this league. The only thing I can tell you is that you battle all year long, and Changeli and Dennis Green have had to do both of their best imitations of psychologists, and they got to keep these guys up. They got to keep them focused and realize that, again, with the Cowboys especially, with the way that their schedule was weighted towards the end of the season for them to have all those home games. 3 out of the last 4 games are at home. Philly, the Jets, and the Giants. They still, they get back Leon Lett. Somewhere along the line, they should get Michael Irvin back.
Right.
Emmitt Smith.
Well, they hope they get him back.
Right.
Yeah, well, they'll run the clock out here with a couple of kneel downs. We're also, Emmitt Smith apparently feels that he may have fractured the hand on the first touchdown. There was a stiff arm here. The face mask on that play right there, where he gets into Kenny Wright's face mask, that was the first touchdown. And then it might have been exacerbated on the next run, where his right hand comes into play with some contact as well.
I wonder if he got his fingers stuck in the face mask.
Could be. Could be, but there's a man who had a record-breaking night going. I mean, he was ahead of Walter Payton's single game pace. He had 140 yards with a few minutes left in the first half. And the next thing you know, he goes home with a cast. Aikman goes home with a concussion. Irvin goes home with his future in doubt. The Cowboys go home with another loss. The Vikings have a 3rd straight win. And we go to Foxborough, where we'll see the Patriots next Monday night. Drew Bledsoe, Terry Glenn and company.
And again, I go back to the fact that Drew Bledsoe, not too much has been written or said about the New England Patriots. I think most of the attention has been paid to teams like St. Louis and also Detroit. And rightfully so.
And this will end the game right here. Leon Lett can begin to practice. A few years ago, Michael Irvin was suspended. Somebody said, when can Michael begin to practice again? And Barry Switzer said, as soon as Al Michaels says Malibu Kelly Hayes thanks him for his spotting, which I've just done. So now Leon can begin to practice. That's about the only good news for the Cowboys right now. Because Chan Gailey, whose evening started quite gaily with a 17-0 lead.
And he came out firing tonight. He was not conservative early on, but injuries, you lose your quarterback, things change. Improvise and adjust and do the best you can, and you try to hold on. And there go those bombs again.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
what is...
Isn't this my favorite moment? 27-17. In a moment, back with the play of the game.
CNET.com, helping you find the right technology products.
Did you know that when you buy McDonald's Chicken McNuggets,
you get these wonderful mechanically embroidered white napkins at no extra charge?
And you'll need lots of napkins because these golden McDonald's Chicken McNuggets come with any one of 4 dipping sauces. Imagine that. The exquisite taste of those delectable delights coupled with hours of dipping and cleaning fun for the whole family. All this can be yours. Where? Did somebody say McDonald's? Napkins retain no value after initial use. DOD's only. McNuggets come in 6, 9, and 20 piece.
Tonight took the lead on a Cris Carter touchdown catch. This is the CNET.com play of the game with real audio in real time. And listen for the cannon. Carter maintaining his concentration. The Cowboys turned out to be nothing but cannon fodder in the second half tonight for the Minnesota Vikings. Jeff George did not complete a single pass tonight until there were 5 minutes and 30 seconds left in the second quarter. But at the end, he stands in glory, and he's with Leslie.
Al, 3 straight wins since he took over as the starter. Jeff George, 3 spectacular touchdowns tonight. First, we just ran it. Did you know about those fireworks going off?
No, we didn't. That was a shocker, and it's you know, Cris had great concentration and you know, just made a great catch. So you know, this is a huge win for us.
It was. What went on at halftime? Afterwards, you scored 20 unanswered points.
Well, you know, we just came out flat for whatever reason. We weren't playing our style of football, and you know, Denny went in there and said, "Hey, you guys got to get it together. We got a whole second half, and defense has kept us in the whole game, and we just had to come out and make plays." So you know, we knew we were a much better team, but you have to give them credit. They came out and put us to us the first half, and then we just came out the second half and played our game.
What does this mean to you? You've had a tumultuous 10-year career. Are you finally in a place where you can showcase your skills?
I feel good. You know, this is a great offense for me. It's the vertical game, and you know, I got some studs to throw to. So the guys up front protect me. It makes my job real easy, but it's exciting. It feels good to be back out here, and to be back on Monday night, it feels great.
It's a wonderful win. Maybe all quarterbacks will start throwing off their back foot.
Well, maybe. You know, whatever works. You know, I just go out there and you know, do what you can and to help team win, and it feels really good.
Great. Congratulations to you, Jeff. Back to you guys.
Okay, thank you, Leslie. So the Minnesota Vikings come from behind, beat the Dallas Cowboys 27-17, and we move to Foxborough next week. The New York Jets will take on the New England Patriots. Until then, this is Al Michaels for Boomer Esiason and Leslie Visser saying good night from Minneapolis. ABC Sports is online at ESPN.com. Now stay tuned to ABC for your late local news or other programming. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, continuing the tradition of excellence.
ABC Sports thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League.
Promotional consideration provided by National Car Rental, the official car rental company of the National Football League.
Let's go!
This man. Tuesday, is this Mike's magic moment?
If you were the last man on Earth, I'd date outside my species.
She's got it bad. All new Spin City. See you Tuesday on ABC.
Ah, something special under the arches? Proud, aren't you? So, how does it taste? Well, show us what you got. McDonald's Bacon Double Cheeseburger is here. Double beef patties, cheese, and crispy bacon. A classic taste at a great price, just 99 cents. But hurry, it's here for a limited time only. So hop to it, it'll be gone before you know it.
Did somebody say McDonald's?
Over the years, a lot of businesses have put their names on one line of trucks. The one that offers the most powerful B10. The one that was first to offer quad cab versatility. And the longest lasting full-size pickup on the road. We understand this name thing. We're pretty fussy about what we put ours on, too. Dodge Ram. Different.
You're watching KIVI-TV 6, ABC. And this is Channel 6 News at 10.
This champion boxer will throw his last punch at the end of the week. Just ahead, what happens once Kenny Keene steps out of the boxing ring. And see how the word of the Lord is shaping some waistlines. Thanks for joining us. I'm Don Nelson. Claudia Weatherman has the night off. Investigators will resume their search for answers in the morning after pulling a car from the Snake River Canyon. Some people noticed a shoe sticking out from under the car after finding it last night. Near this bridge, which is about 11 miles east of Twin Falls, today, police confirm there was a body in the car. Police say it looks like the body was there for a while. They haven't been able to determine if it's a male or female. The car is so mangled, police cannot tell what kind it is. They also say the car did not have a license plate, which makes the investigation even more difficult. A young man was formally charged with vandalizing Boise City Hall over the weekend. He's also accused of trying to steal thousands of dollars in goods from the mayor's office. Nate Freeman faces 3 felony counts, grand theft, burglary, and malicious injury to property. Freeman allegedly got away with laptop computers and cameras. Police say he ruined some office equipment by pouring orange juice on it.
Really fortunate that no one was injured and that we were able to recover all of our property. That so often is not the case.
Mayor Coles and his staff are looking at ways to tighten security at City Hall. 2 doors were accidentally left open over the weekend so construction crews could get in. You're looking at a first for fighting crime in Nampa. This new police substation opened today. It's housed in the same building as the new Boys and Girls Club on Garrity Boulevard. The substation gives North Nampa residents easier access to the police. This way they don't have to go to the main station downtown. The new Nampa Police Substation is open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. 3 men who helped a fugitive face time behind bars themselves. John Butterbaugh, Rick Richards, and Johnny Hendricks Jr., all of Weiser, pleaded guilty to charges of harboring a fugitive. They'll be sentenced in January. The trio helped this man, Donald Dyer. Dyer was indicted last year on drug and weapons charges. He ran away to Mexico with a 14-year-old girl after being released from custody. Months later, police recaptured him at a ranch near Midvale.